Hello world, this is Full Stack Steve, and today we will be reviewing my Amazon application, which is designed to be a customer store interface using Node inside a command line interface, using MySQL in order to store its online data. Let's go ahead and jump right in and get started and see what this is all about. So we have several different things that we can do. We have a customer application, we have a manager application, and a supervisor application. If we load up the customer application, first thing you're going to see is a list of everything that is available for sale in my store. And after you see that, it is going to let you cycle through them and see what it is that you would like to purchase. So let's say I am in the market for a 36 count package of diaper in size 1s, and I am not a risky man. I'm going to order 2 of those. Never get just 1 package of diapers, folks. It's a bad idea. So now I can see my total is $39.98. Since the individual price for these things on line 15 was $19.99, $39.98 is 2 of those. It has correctly done the math. Now what it's doing is it is pulling all of these from my MySQL database. So if I load up and select star from products, it will actually show me a list of everything that I have loaded inside of the database. And you can see they line up pretty well. It does seem to have a few extra options that don't actually appear. For instance, you'll notice that line 14 is missing of the application. If you look on the MySQL database, the line 14 is a Nintendo Wii U. I have 0 in stock. Since I actually don't have what the customer is looking for, I'm not going to show it to them. It only lists the items I have in stock. Would you like to continue shopping? Yes, thanks very much. I am interested in a Samsung 65-inch television. I want my man cave filled up. We're going to pick up 20 of those suckers and just go totally nuts. Unfortunately, we only have 16 of those. And it stopped me from purchasing it. The MySQL database side, if you take a good look at line number 2, as I refresh, it still has the 16. Nothing has changed. It hasn't gone to -4 or updated the table in any way. Would you like to continue shopping? Yes, I would. Going to get those Samsung TVs. I'm going to buy all 16 of them and just have one little blank patch on my wall where I can't put the other 4. And it lets me. My total is large. Would you like to continue shopping? Let's look back at the MySQL database and see what it is that happened. So line number 2, I have 16 in stock. My product sales from all of my sales so far is $8,999. As I refresh it, see, I now have a stock quantity of 0. My product sales are significantly higher in all of those types of things, and all of the numbers have updated correctly. Which means if I say yes, I would like to continue shopping again, Samsung TVs are no longer listed in my items that I have available. Since I got that many TVs, I may as well have something to watch on it. So let's order 2 Nintendo Switches. It's done my total correctly. Uploading my database shows me that I do have 2 fewer switches and some higher product sales, and everything has worked exactly as I expected it to. So, since everything is working in the customer app, please come again soon. I will go ahead and jump out of it. Let's see what the managers see instead. So as I load up the manager application, we have a few different menu items that will pop up. I can view all of the products I have available for sale. It'll show absolutely everything along with their quantities and their prices and everything that it is that we've done. I have lots of 10-foot folding tables for some reason. That's a good thing. Everything is actually fitting into the table quite nicely. If I want to see my low inventory, it will show me all of the items that I have less than 5 of, so I can see what might be on the need for restocking. So I am out of Samsung televisions. That's no good because the Super Bowl's coming up. I'm out of Wii U's, which wasn't on the list at all, and I only have a couple of amplifiers left. That's no good because Orange makes a seriously good amp. So let's add some to my inventory. I know that I need some Samsung TVs, at least 15 of them. You have added 15 units, bringing my total up to 15. And if I go and refresh my MySQL database, I now see that I have 15 more in stock, line number 2 for that Samsung television available for sale. If I want to go and add a couple more Wii U's in, which I've never actually had in stock, let's go, there we go. And I want 4 of those. I've added 4. It will still show up on the low inventory, but it now shows me I have 4, and it's updated my database table correctly. The Samsung televisions are now off the list because it has 5 or more. And let's say that I want to add a new product. So I have the Nintendo Wii U, I have the Nintendo Switch, but I don't have any handheld. That's no good. So, let's see. Let's actually add the new Nintendo 3DS. That definitely belongs in the electronics category. MSRP of this item is $99.99. And I want 11 of them. I have added 11 units of the new Nintendo 3DS. And again, as I refresh my MySQL database table here, I can now see as I scroll down, new Nintendo 3DS, I have 11 of them. It's added them to the correct department. The MSRP is good, and it's automatically changed my product sales to 0 because I have no sales of this item yet, so obviously I've made no money. So since I can see everything, and it also shows up in my list of products down at the bottom now. So, since I can see my manager functions are working quite nicely, let's get out of that. Have a nice day. Thank you, app. That's very kind of you to say. Let's take a quick look at these supervisor functions of the app instead and see what they have. You'll see it starts just like the manager with the menu that pops up. If I want to view product sales by department, it's going to show me just the departments that I have available, what the overhead costs for those departments are, what the actual product sales are, and where I'm at so far in my year-to-date as far as being profitable. So electronics is doing quite well and pulling the weight for basically the rest of the store. Now, those of you that have worked retail, it's a little backwards from how it normally is, but bear with me for the sake of the example. See, I haven't sold any clothing or music yet at all, which is frustrating. Let's create a new department, see if we can pick up on some of those extra areas. So in my new department, I want some board games. The overhead of this department is going to be pretty low because, I don't need people demoing my board games. I just need somebody to put them on the shelf from time to time. So $500 is my overhead. Awesome. So if I view my product sales by department, board games is now there. The overhead cost is correct. My product sales are 0, and my total profit is negative 500. Let's go see what this is doing on the MySQL side. So instead of products, if I look for departments and load that up, I'm going to have a list of all of my departments that are here. Just like on my list, I have a department ID, I have a department name, I have overhead costs. I'm missing any total profit. That's odd, because it's here in my other table. Total profit on the supervisor side is dynamically generating itself by doing real-time calculations. It's not a stored value. It will tell you in real time what the actual profit is using basic math. It's taking the product sales minus the overhead costs and giving you that total. Now the product sales is in the products table, and the overhead costs are in the department table. So we are linking these tables together using a left link, a left merge to get everything done. And what I'm basically seeing in here, left join, I forget my words here for a moment. So what I've basically done here is I have done a left join to connect the tables, and it's doing real-time math based off of the product sales and overhead costs. Using aliases for each of those different things because I want the sum of each of the different departments instead of using a giant for loop to go through. Trying to figure it out and then grouping it by the departments. You'll also know that the IDs are out of order because I have ordered the departments based on their product sales. and the highest product sale is first. So the more department has in actual sales, the higher they're going to rank on my list. It doesn't necessarily affect the profitability, but I want to see basically what is actually selling and what is not, despite its costs. So that's where those numbers end up coming from. If I go back into my department app, since I can see I can view product sales, I can create new departments, let's get out of that, and get back into the manager function. Have a nice day. What a nice application this is. So let's get back into the manager function if I could type it correctly. There you go. And let's add a new product. So I need some board games to fill up those shelves. The name of the new product is Catan, because every store needs Catan, and now you'll notice board games is in the list. It was not there a moment ago, so this is actually pulling directly from the department MySQL tables and updating everything that's there. So if I say that belongs in board games, Catan is $29.99, and I want 75 of them. This Catan is good. And as a view product for sales, now I have Catan there in board games. So notice, as I'm adding in my board games, that I have electronics, music, grocery, stationery, home, clothing, baby, board games, and I cycle back to electronics. So there's nothing beyond the board games here that it is that I have to use. Uno is going to retail for $6.99, and I want 42. Because that seems good. The product for sale, Uno is there. Let's get out of that. So now, as I go into my supervisor function, I want to add a new department again. And let's call it outdoors. The overhead of this department is going to be a little bit more, but not too much more. Let's say it's a measly 4,000. And as I view product sales by department, of course, outdoors is at the bottom with 0 sales, and we'll go ahead and get out of that. And have a nice day. Thank you. And just to show, as I add a new product to the list, the new product is a, let's see, what are we going to have? We're going to have a badminton set. Because it's outdoors. And now as I go through, my outdoors has made my list. So it's pulling in real time each time. If I go into my MySQL tables and reload that, I can see that outdoors is there, has my overhead costs exactly like I intended it to. And if I load up my products, I can now see each of my new products down there has the new department name with the new price, with the correct stock quantity, and obviously the product sales of 0. So everything is actually talking nicely to each other exactly the way that I want it to. MSRP of a badminton set is going to be $9.99 because it's a cheap one, and I want 2 of them. And let's get out of that. Have a nice day. So one more refresh of my SQL tables. Badminton set is now down at the bottom in the outdoors for $9.99. I have 2 of them in stock. My product sales are 0. Let's go into the departments table and refresh that. Make sure that everything is there exactly as it should be. And just one more time, let's get back into the customers option because we have lots more things to choose from than we used to. So the new Nintendo 3DS is down there. Catan, Uno, the badminton set are all there. And as I go through, I need to buy another Catan set because I only have 4 of those. I'm not even making that up. I have 4 sets of Catan. Now I have 5 and I've spent $29.99. I would not like to continue shopping. Please come again. So everything in the MySQL is talking nicely with the JavaScript app itself. Everything is working correctly in the command line interface. All of my tables draw correctly. I've created the tables myself, didn't use an external package for that, and everything seems to be functioning exactly as intended with 0 bugs in the code. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching. I want an A on the project. And thanks so much. We will see you soon.